Hi, everybody. So we're going to go through this agenda. I'll try to make this quick. So our field report, we had a visit. I think Joe was here on the 3rd. I guess Alex will be here tomorrow. Richter Segan was here this week. SLR, our civil engineer, was here last week. I think, according to my notes, that we're through most of the submittals. Is that right? Or, we're wrapping up of submittals, and I'm not aware of RFIs at this time. There's 4. Okay. These are the photos from several weeks ago. I think you're moving quickly. I stopped by just before the meeting. It looks fantastic. Just some of the images from inside, if everyone hadn't been in there recently, the gym and the auditorium looks really, really nice. I think you already spoke about this, Rosanna, so on hold, I guess, because of the application fee.
Is that the only outstanding component? I know there was a couple things around how to submit it or the form.
Besides the referendum, there is stop work.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying there were other logistical things I think that were still going back and forth to make sure
So everything's it's all been resolved. So now it's a matter of the
just
town
the money
giving
and then the
referendum.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
So I'll go over a little bit about the technology. I'm not sure if this is coming up later in the meeting. You have this? Okay. So bids received, purchase orders have been issued, and I believe that it's up for approval this evening?
Yes.
For the remaining technology.
Right. So here's here is where the bids came in. So actually came in $161,000 under the estimate. This is on the middle school itself. On the central administration offices, a little bit over. So I guess better than the estimate, but still a little bit over the budget allotted for the central administration. Just where we are in the schedule, there was a long time for the review process, but I think we're back on schedule.
Things are falling into the slot. Yeah.
So that's
One thing that I was going to ask Joe to follow up on, we had talked about a couple weeks back. So we had brought up the idea of the netting by the soccer fields to protect stray soccer balls from going into the neighborhood and damaging personal property. And he was supposed to go and do some figure out what that would entail. I'm not sure if he got around to that yet.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know that much about it. I know I did hear that. Is that a permanent installation?
It's like one of those, soccer, like the soccer nets you can just pull down and up during the winter.
Yeah.
Or pull down in the winter up and, it's one of those things. We were curious as to the cost for that. And if it's even possible to put in there, because I know the fence is right along the tree line, so there may not even be room for it.
Yeah, I apologize. I don't have anything to report on that. I'll just have to follow up with Joe on that.
Okay.
And how about the sign in the gym? I think he was going to look into that as well. The logo.
So I asked the administration if they were okay with the logo as is. They weren't okay with it, but they said for expediency and just getting it done, just get it done.
So
they were disappointed that it wasn't that size.
That'll involve adding the claw marks above the hawk. Our Falcons.
They're going to add the claw marks. Yes.
Appropriately
Chris?
sized.
Oh yeah, I hope they're the right size. I hope they're not the big claw marks and actually the proportion to the CMS sign.
Yeah, it's going to be proportional to what's there right now.
Okay. Well, proportion to the CMS or proportional to the Falcon? Because those are two different. We have two different proportions right now.
CMS.
Okay. Good.
I've received a quote. I haven't been able to fully vet it yet. I need to have a conversation with the contractor, and then I can present that cost.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? We did see the CMS logo on the back of the school. Nice. Got one right. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Not your fault. It's okay, Chris. Okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, we'll move on to Newfield.
Oh, sorry. We just have to switch files.
Oh, we get a movie day. My favorite.
Yeah. So I started in A this time. I'm just showing you a shot down the hallway. I'm heading east right now. We're getting ready to put ceilings in this area now in the hallway. I think this is an A building. This is the 6th grade wing heading back towards the auditorium. This space right here was always going to be one of the last that's finishing up. We're actually getting deep into the finishes now, getting geared up and ready for your admin to come into the space. You'll see that these single-use bathroom, you can see the floors are ongoing in there. That will allow us to get all the fixtures in after and go with all the partitions and all that stuff. There it is again. I believe I turned and showed you one of the typical, there's your tile work ready for fixtures once the floor is done. I'm just going to let it play out for a minute here. So this is your nurse's suite. Windows are going in. They just need to be glazed. You'll see your clocks are on the wall, whiteboards, first coat of paint. Millwork should be complete in that area this week. There's your bathroom. They've done the floor. We're ready to put in the fixtures. Just as a general note, we're going to start doing punch list on the exterior of the building starting next week. That process will be ongoing. We'll roll right into the interior of the building, starting in B2, then B1, and then coming around the building clockwise.
Were those epoxy floors in there, Chris, for the bathrooms?
Yes, all your bathrooms have epoxy floors. Just kind of showing you that this is the admin space. Your drywall is 99% complete in all of the building. There's only one real area that's left to frame, and that's at this, when I come through the hallway over here, you'll see that's right at the control room of the auditorium, because we're still working on the cloud ceilings and installing the sheetrock up high, and there's lifts in there. That's the only reason why it's left like that. We actually started a layout for the interior airlock of that security zone at the front door yesterday. So we're looking to get that done. As we come through here, you'll see right here, ceilings are being framed. They're actually pretty much complete right now. We're starting to install sprinkler heads, lighting fixtures, all that kind of stuff in there now. You'll see all of your glazing is here. We actually got the column wraps on site yesterday for that area. nice little picture of your courtyard with the concrete work and everything that's coming along nicely. Going to start topsoiling that sooner than later here as well as we work our way out. These areas that you see taped but not painted yet are ready for paint. That process is complete with the sanding and the finishing. You'll see all these frames are here. This Saturday, all of these should be glazed, meaning the windows should be in them as of Saturday. Similar to what you see down here at the cafeteria. Just showing you that your millwork's coming along nicely there. Your floor is in the cafeteria now. It's all first coat painted. I don't believe I went in there, did I? Yes. Couldn't remember. But that's all protected floor now. Your doors are in. All of the kitchen equipment is coming on the 28th. They'll start doing all the final connections, everything that needs to be done with that immediately thereafter. All power and all requirements and everything that we need is there. Now I'm in the hallway behind the gym on the north side. You can see all of our ceiling tiles are staged, ready to go into the ceiling. Just a shot of the mechanical room to show you that we've labeled everything. Everything's insulated. The controls are ongoing. These boilers are running now as specified. The hot water heaters have been started. You're starting to get all those systems online and moving along now. Circulating pumps are circulating water throughout the building. Glycol is to the units. Unit hydronics water is in place. They're actually going to start working on painting this the Owl Gray within the next week here. You can see that we're ready to pad out these ceilings. There's your millwork in your break room here, or your work room, I should say. You got a nice whiteboard there too.
Is there something going on in those corners?
Yes, there will be closure pieces.
Oh, okay.
Then you won't see it once the top's on. So this is back of house. Once again, we're ready to pad these areas out. They've all been inspected. That's correct, right, Ron? BOE's all inspected above ceiling.
Is
Yeah,
that the
it's-
dark wall that needs to be repainted?
Yes, there's your reception desk right there. It's now put in place. We're just waiting for the tops. This is one of those bullet resistant frames right here coming along. Each room is the same level of completeness over there.
It's amazing how dark that dark is. That dark wall.
Coming into the gym, you can see that all of your acoustical panels are complete. All the ductwork is painted and in, ready to be bumped. All that blue will come off the film once we circulate air.
What's covering the sound panels? Or why are they covered? Just to
we-
keep them
we-
dust off of them? Or?
Yeah, we don't want dust on them, so it's
Okay.
just a 2 mil poly,
Oh, nice.
just to keep them clean throughout the process.
Yeah.
Your pads will be coming after the floor goes in. Floor is coming on 5/13. They'll start putting it in immediately after that.
Okay. They don't need to like acclimate or anything?
No, we've had that discussion. Once it lands, they'll shake it out, and then as they start working it, it will acclimate as they
Okay.
go.
Okay.
This is the back area of the health rooms, all that kind of stuff over here, band. You'll see the ceilings are complete. We're getting ready to do whiteboards and whatnot. Just coming along nicely back here. They're going to start doing floors back here imminently. We're at that point. Those walls will get fully painted. You see, you have your thermometers, your lighting controls, all that stuff there. Your FA will be going in, fire alarm devices, now that we have one finished coat on. That's your future use EV charger.
Is this walking like towards the band rooms and stuff?
I'm walking to the south. The front of the building is right through that door.
Okay.
Now I'm going into the stage.
Okay, thanks.
All your rigging has been installed for curtains, lighting, all of that stuff. And then I wanted to show you, there's the ceiling. They started sheetrocking that today. It looks really nice. I think it's going to come out really nice.
What's the ETA on the seats?
Jeez. Right before D-Day. That's going to be one of the absolute last things we put in, so.
What was the longest lead item? Do you remember? Or you remember, but what was it?
Your electrical gear.
And when's that coming in? Do we know?
It's all here. You're
Oh, it's
asking-
already here. Oh, no, I thought there was something we thought was going to come, like, that was your long lead thing, but we got it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
That's why we did that early bid package.
Yeah, we had tried to eliminate that issue up front, which we did. I was racing to get out. My battery was running out, and I wanted to show you the front of the building at least at that point, but it sounds like most of you have already seen that glazing is ongoing at the front entry, and that frame system is all installed, and so we can either continue to watch or we can turn it off. It's up to you guys. All right. So all that glazing that you see right here is all installed now. As you can tell, the thing was beeping at me. You're critical. Well, as I turned around here, it started dropping on its own because it was saying, I gotta land, I got no more juice. But as you can see here, all that's glazed now, so. And this roof is going on Saturday. I wanted to try and get you a shot all the way around. As you come to the along the north side, all of that concrete flat work is going in right now. The prep for that back road area there where the turnaround is, and in the back curb line where all the catch basins are is all being formed out right now, getting ready to be all put together. So.
And can you remind me, because when school starts, the old building's still going to be there. How will people get to central admin? Will there be a pathway?
Yeah, back in I can't even remember if it was December or January. We had a meeting about what the time frames were going to be with all the stakeholders.
Yeah.
At that time, we had put together a site logistics plan
Yeah.
for how we anticipated getting the people into that central admin area.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be an alleyway. There's a concrete walkway that we're actually starting to form up right now.
Like along the side of the school?
Yes,
Okay.
that will bring you right over to the main entry of the BOE, and
Okay.
and then on the other side, on the east side of that, will be a temporary fence line
Okay.
to keep the segregation between the active school and the active construction area.
Okay.
And you'll have to park BOE people in
In the
that
school-
lot,
the school lot.
in that south lot. Yes.
So that south lot's going to be pretty tight for a couple months then, right?
Yes, we're anticipating your bus loop area being ready for sometime in December.
December?
Yes,
Oh, that fast. That seems fast to me.
it was always scheduled like that.
Cool. Excellent.
Any questions?
Thanks, Chris.
No problem. Thank you.
Arcadis.
All right. We've seen our videos. We've gotten our oral report from Newfield. We've got some change orders that are packaged here. Again, this has been distributed to the committee. The items there are PCO 93 for the sign, for the wiring, and as well as the sign itself. PCO 94, network conductivity for the irrigation system, which is a request by the town. PCO 97, owner requested paint color changes for the admin spaces. And PCO 101, which is something that we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks with Newfield. It's an allowance for overtime, since we are shortening the construction period for the central office and the school office in order to allow them to occupy right after school closes. That they cut a month out of the normal effort to reach substantial completion. So there are some efforts that need to be kicked up into overtime in order to make sure that those spaces are ready and the building systems that support them. So, for instance, we need to complete the entire fire alarm system in order to get our temporary certificate of occupancy. So that's not only taking care of that square footage, but also the interconnections across the building.
So the fire alarm system for the entire building, not just central admin?
Yes. And I thought we had something that showed those numbers.
Is there anything that the town needs to review and approve before that happens, or are they part of the approval process?
They're part of the approval process.
Okay, and they're lined up to do that?
They're at our call, yes.
Okay, good, thank you.
So these 4 items are ones that the committee deferred to the broader building committee, right?
So it was the first 3, 93, 94, and 97 that were deferred. 101 was developed with the assistance of Arcadis last week, and we figured we'd bring it with us
Okay.
when we went for these other 3. There is a breakdown in there. If you'd like, I have the file here, and I can call that out if you'd like, but it's up to you.
That's our technology. And that's invoices. I thought we had something that was actually readable.
Yes, it's on that cover page that she put the 2 of them side by side. It's right there on the
Yeah.
right hand side. There's a table there.
Yeah, my old eyes can't see what those numbers are.
So for the sign, wiring, and circuitry, it's $50,267.04. That's for change order 093. For 094, which is the network connectivity for irrigation system, that's $3,098.29. Change order 97, which is the owner request for paint color changes, that's $13,457.77.
Whoa.
And change order 101 for the overtime is $25,000.
Now, the intent for that allowance, PCO 101, that would be a time and material. It's for the half-time multiple to go from regular time to time and a half, to be used and monitored weekly with tickets against a not-to-exceed allowance of $25,000. And that's as I said, to be able to accelerate for those 2 office areas.
For PCO 97, what color changes is that part of specifically? Because 13,000 sounds like a lot.
This was discussed at the last meeting where the talk was, in addition to the dark wall that doesn't want to be dark, within the office spaces, there was a desire to have instead of the white
Yep.
color, to use the soft gray
So admin's okay with the white for cost.
Beg pardon?
Administration's okay keeping the white in the in the
So-
main school.
So, okay. We were told that they wanted to repaint it, that's why.
Not for 13,000.
Not for 13,000.
How much of that is for the blue wall and central admin?
That's separate, that's being tracked on time and material for the blue wall.
What does that mean?
That's not in this number.
Okay.
That'll be a separate transaction that's being measured time and material with tickets.
Okay.
So it's being computed on actuals, not on any projected cost. These are the
Rosanna, do we have it in writing from the school that they are okay with the white?
Look at my text.
Am I on? No.
Yes.
Because this one, the one to go from the 1 gray wall to the 4 gray walls, that was something that was always in the designs. There was no error in that. That was executed correctly. It was just that the administration had a different expectation. So that was executed correctly. So that truly is an owner requested change that was never discussed. Where the blue wall, we had discussed changing that, and that was not picked up as we talked about. So this particular change order, it sounds like it's just the 1 to 4 that
Right.
was done correctly by all of our partners. It was just an expectation that we didn't understand. Yeah. So do we want to, do we have time to hold this one until we have that conversation with administration?
Yeah.
I think Rosanna did.
I could have sworn they said they're okay with white, but I'm just verifying that with them right now. But I would hold off on an.
I'm not saying I don't trust you, Rosanna. I think it just kind of covers
Yeah.
all of us, just to make sure that we've got it in writing from them.
Lisa, the value of 94 was what again, please?
The value of 94 was $3,098.29. And that was for the network connectivity for irrigation system per town recommendation and RFI 235.
Thank you.
So who from the town recommended this one, and why was it deferred to the broader committee? Just some more background on it.
This was requested by Recreation Department so that the irrigation systems, they wouldn't have to go into the building in order to operate the controller, that they want to be able to do it
Remotely.
through the network.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who that person was that made the request.
So this was from John Harriman. He had noted that they were having specific issues with connectivity on the same system throughout the town. It's a cellular connection, and they wanted to make sure that there was no lag or downtime if there was a problem with the cellular network. So they wanted to have this as a backup, as always being on, always being connected.
Was there concerns at the change order committee? Is that why it was?
No, because it was a town request. The subcommittee didn't feel it was in their purview to
Okay.
vote on it.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve change order 94.
Do we want to take these as a slate, and process several, or take each of them individually?
I think we should do each of them individually. If,
So 93 is could be a motion contingent on town council and zoning approval to move forward with the site signage at the price of $50,267.04.
I'm sorry. I just got a response from Dr. Macri. So when we talked about this last, they had not put the paint yet on those walls. So why are we paying so much extra to paint the walls?
that was in the school office
That's what this
versus
is
the Board of
for.
Ed
No,
office.
no,
I
no,
thought
no,
this was
is
for the Board of Ed office.
No, this is for the school office, right?
Oh.
Yeah, there
Yes.
was.
Yeah, and there's
Yes.
only one coat
Oh.
of paint, and then we're gonna put the other paint on top. So why is it so much more?
So what's going on here is, since we started this conversation and since we have continued the project, we can't stop the process in the meantime while we're trying to hash this out. So what's happened is now we have ceiling grid in place because we have to get electrical into the grid, we have to get lights in, we have to get fire alarms, occupancy sensors, duct drops, you name it. They all have to continue on the schedule that we have while we hash this out. We've addressed any worst case scenario in this. Yes, you are correct. You only have one finish coat on each wall, but we're anticipating that because of the color, we're going to need two, so you're getting that additional coat in there as well.
So have they painted all the coats on the walls?
No, we're still at one finish coat. You get two finish coats. We've done primer and one finish coat.
So the cost is associated with basically having to work around all the trim and stuff that you already put in, like the ceilings and stuff.
As well as an additional coat of paint.
So
yes.
we have to pay this no matter what because now we're adding extra effort.
Unless you keep it the white, yes.
Well, it's only one coat of white.
But
You still own one coat. You still
own an
owe,
additional coat.
yeah, you still get one additional coat.
Okay. So we have one more additional coat, right? If we went with the gray owl for that one additional coat, it's no net difference?
I can't guarantee that you'll get full coverage of that gray owl color over the white with one coat. So that's why I'm telling you, you need two.
But is the cost due to the added work or the added coating? Meaning, like, if you didn't put the ceiling and everything in, right, and you don't have to go around any kind of trim or whatever, like that effort is added cost. So it feels like even if we said only one coat, there's still an added cost because now there's more labor involved because
Yes,
we
you
didn't
have
let them
to-
paint.
You have to cut in around everything that we've
Right.
installed to
So that
maintain our
cut,
schedule.
that cut effort is an added cost no matter what.
Yes.
Okay. So
So I guess what you need to know is what's the delta between
The added-
adding an extra coat, adding two more finish coats versus one more finish coat of white.
right. But
it
sounds
sounds
like
like
the effort is
even-
the same either way.
One more finish coat of white is what you own per contract.
Understood.
No extra
But if we were to switch over to 2 coats of gray owl, this 13,000 equals 2 coats of gray owl plus the extra labor for cutting around everything.
It's one extra coat of gray owl.
Okay, 1 extra coat of gray owl plus cutting around everything.
That is correct.
Okay, so is it like half and half, like the paint itself? Meaning if we stuck with white paint, right?
If
How
you-
much would that number come
If
down?
you stuck with white paint, they would not have to critically cut things in because there's already white paint on the wall. If you change the color.
Yeah, but
they've
you
gotta-
don't want to touch the stuff on the ceiling. You still have to cut around all that stuff, right? You're not going to get paint everywhere. Am I misunderstanding what cutting means?
These guys are professionals. They cut all the time. They don't necessarily get everything all over everything, but
So the cutting is not extra then.
to go with the white, for white, there is
Color
no
change.
additional cost. You already own the cutting for the white. You already own the finish coat for the white.
Okay.
That finish coat would be your second coat of the white. What I'm saying is that you only have primer and first coat of paint. It's a 3-coat system.
Yeah.
So the process of cutting in, et cetera, for a color change is what's driving the labor on this. In addition to one more coat of paint,
Yes.
they also have to do a color change cut,
Yes.
which is more complicated than just doing a third coat with the original white.
That's correct.
White is easier.
So so both CMS and Board of Ed are 3-in-1.
Yes.
Yes, that was the original.
Accent
de-
wall and 3
Okay.
regular walls.
That was the original design
is
intent. Howard.
Central office is okay with their walls, their offices. I think
Okay.
they still have the white walls, right, in central office with 1 gray.
Yes.
So central office, they're okay with 3-in-1. So I guess now the question is, are they okay with CMS office?
So
Which to me, one wall is almost all windows anyway. So
Not in all the little offices.
They're like inside the.
oh, the inside one,
Yeah.
interior ones.
so they were okay with,
Yeah, how many?
and it's good you
interior
asked,
offices are
Jessica. They were okay with central office being white and gray. Central office. The school offices, they wanted all gray.
Oh, okay.
because they were under the impression that they hadn't finished putting the 2 coats on. They had just primed it at that point. Go put the coats on.
Okay.
And we thought it would be like a swap of color paint.
Okay.
Now we're finding out that they had which makes sense, they had to go and start all the other stuff. They couldn't wait for whatever.
Yeah.
So they put the ceilings in, so now there's a cutting thing going on. And apparently if you cut the white, it's different than if you cut, even though I'm not going to argue that point, but they're adding an extra cutting fee, let's call it that,
Yeah.
for a colored paint as opposed to the white paint, even though in my painting experience, if you make a splotch, you make a splotch, but again. So the 13,000 then is, do we want to spend 13,000 to repaint the walls to what they want, which is all 4 gray walls, or keep it as it is with central admin, which is 3 white walls and 1 accent wall, which is what we had agreed to initially. And now we can open it for discussion after let's go back to the top of the list and go these in order. So just ponder that thought while we go back to the beginning. PCO 93, the site sign, 50,267.
Contingent.
Contingent upon town council and zoning authorization. Any discussion on that?
Just I was looking back at my notes. We discussed them at different meeting dates. Was it ever in one of the Perkins Eastman's material, the actual finished product of the sign, a rendering? I just couldn't remember.
Arcadis, Ron put that together.
Okay. Oh, maybe I'll look for that. Okay.
Yeah,
That was something
and
else.
we
Yeah.
had them come and that was a virtual meeting where they showed us.
I think they showed it on the screen. That's all I was just saying. Did we have an actual
Yeah.
documentation? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll make them. I don't know if there's other discussion, but
Any other discussion on the sign? If not, I'll take a motion.
yeah, I'll make that. I'll make the motion
assume.
to approve the change order 93.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Ken opposes. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
Next, we have PCO 94, network connectivity for the irrigation system for $3,098.29.
Any discussion on that one?
Yeah, and then we had said that this is like a redundant system to the extent that the cellular system doesn't work.
That's my understanding behind it, yes.
If there's no other questions, comments, I'll take a motion to approve. Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Matt, nay. Ken? Nay. Oh, gosh, now I actually have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4,
think there's one.
5. Okay. Anyone abstaining? That was the first time ever. That hurt my head. Gosh. Motion carries. Oh, that's funny. PCO 97.
PCO 97, the paint color changes for middle school administrative wing, $13,457.77.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
Sorry, so this is on the color changes. Now we're up to that one.
Yep,
now?
now in the color changes.
So we talked about 2 options. Obviously, if it just stays as white, you know what you're getting. You're getting white. If you want the 2 coats of owl color, you're going to probably get the thing that looks exactly like the swatch. But I don't see where just 1 coat of owl wouldn't look
You'd have to
more
do-
gray than white.
Oh, you'll just see white through, potential white through. You need 2 coats, or else you can get some splotches of white coming through.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. If it was just a slightly watered down of the gray, I would say that maybe is fine. But sure, okay.
Does anyone want to make any kind of motion on this one?
And you're saying that's the admin's desire, is
That is
to have the.
admin's desire is to have it.
I'll move to leave it alone.
Can we do that?
You can either have the item fail for lack of a motion, or you can put it on the table and defeat it.
I'll do the first one, lack of motion.
I'll make the motion.
Wait, what are we making a motion to?
I'm making
To approve the
to
expense.
approve the paint
Oh.
change order 97.
Oh, you make a motion to approve it, okay. And Ken, you're seconding that? Okay, all in favor?
Second for discussion, at least.
All opposed?
Sorry.
Oh.
All in favor? I'll say aye.
You're in favor?
I am.
Anyone else? Okay, anyone else in favor?
Nay.
All opposed, say nay.
Sorry. Nay.
1, 2, 3, 4. You opposed or
I'm
abstaining? You can
gonna
abstain.
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 I don't want to lose my job.
This is so interesting.
Motion rejected? Is that the right term? We've never done that before. Never rejected a motion before. My head really, this is like all new territory
mo-
for me. I've never
the
done this
motion
one.
fails.
Before. Motion fails.
Motion fails.
Thank
Motion is
you.
denied.
Huh? I know. Motion fails.
Normally you just say
Wah, wah.
unanimous. Unanimous.
Okay, was
PCO 101, a
CM
allowance for
contingency.
overtime
Any questions or comments?
in the value of $25,000.
If not, take a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Wait, can we
Oh,
discuss?
sorry.
Oh, sorry,
Go ahead.
discussion. No, I just want to say thank you for bringing this forward to us. I think it's very thoughtful, and making sure that we stay on schedule and, do what we need to do to get the administration in there. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, not only that, but also as opposed to like, oh, we did this and here's the bill for it. We did that
After
3
the
months
fact.
ago. Okay, so yeah, good. I mean, that's the other thing that we said, seeing the visibility. Yeah, so that's good.
Yes.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Excellent. Motion carries. Perfect. Those are my fun ones. All
Okay,
right.
can I ask a question now that we're through all those motions? So just, I didn't want to slow down those votes because I wouldn't affect it either way. So just with the overtime in mind, the fact that we were just talking about getting the fire alarm systems all commissioned, everything's got to be in place before our temporary occupancy. Is the town all lined up for all of the approvals that are needed to be made before we can start moving into the school, or we can have the central admin taken over?
In the lens of approvals from town officials and everything for fire marshal, health department, BO, all that stuff, yes, we're in alignment with that. What we've started to do is go through our own internal closeout checklist to get to that TCO process.
Okay.
We're working through that right now to identify any of those stumbling blocks that we need to be working on.
Okay.
A lot of the paperwork that's required for that is filing in right now through startups, through checks on your chlorination of your water, stuff of that nature is already flowing in. So we're monitoring the situation, and we believe that we're in a good position right now.
Okay, all right, and the town's going to be prepared to support you in the time that you need to be supported.
Yes, they have been all the way through, so I don't anticipate any other change right now.
Okay, thank you.
And then we should note the last one that we approved was out of the. You said that out of the CM contingency. That's carried by CAO, I guess, right?
That's correct. Wait, go ahead one more time with that.
You said that it's funded out of the CM contingency, and I was assuming that was out of the central admin budget. I'm not sure. Do you have different contingencies for the two projects?
Yes.
Okay.
That's out of the main building contingency for the CM contingency. For CMS.
Out of the main building contingency?
Yes, because we got to get it, all your main
The whole
components
building.
are in the main building. We have to get those complete.
Okay. Okay, yeah. They're physically located in the main building. I thought
That's
we were
correct.
rushing to get the actual admin office
It's also
space
the- it's
prepared,
also the
but
school
It-
admin.
But
it's
it's also, yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
It's also
okay.
school admin in addition to central office admin.
okay.
when we look at those kinds of systems, we got to look at them holistically. We
Yeah.
can't break them apart per project, even though there is dollar value on both of the sides.
Yep.
You have to have totality to get that system running.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, let's move on to the technology bid. Important one to approve tonight. Is that what's up there?
Yes, that's what's on the screen right now.
can't read
We
it.
had three items,
This wasn't in your package.
three
right,
items that
you
were
sent?
bid for technology. Technology item number
was
4. Oh, you can zoom?
It was in what?
More
Emily
better.
It was?
sent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Emily sent it.
Since today, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 352. She had sent it. Yeah.
She did not send me anything.
Uh,
I'm off the list. Or it's in my junk.
No, you're right.
That's
It-
good.
that-
That's good.
Yeah, it
That's
goes
good.
out to a smaller
That's
list.
So we had 3 items that were out to public bid: the interruptible power supplies, the AV systems for the classrooms and digital display boards, and then for central office, also the AV systems. There were 2 bidders. Unfortunately, one of the bidders bid on items that were not on the public bid list. They gave us numbers on something we were procuring in a different method, so that bid was moot. But for the uninterruptible power supplies and the AV systems in the school itself, we have a total value of that was bid of 4,000. That's 492. There was a no, that's not right either. Anyway. These are the bids as they came in. We're actually executing them in a slightly different form because in review and the technology folks reconsidered, and we're buying fewer things than we originally had. But anyway, so we do have numbers that are close to budget. The uninterruptible power supplies came in a bit above the estimate. Our AV systems came in considerably under 477 versus the 608. There was an enhancement. As we see the right-hand column, this is with add-ons. There was I'll equate it, that's probably incorrectly, but to an Apple AirTag to be able to provide tagging, whether it was digital or just physical tags on the devices. The school decided that was not a necessary add-on, so we're not spending those additional dollars. About $15,400. That was an option that was given. And then for the central admin, the numbers came in about 8,000 versus an estimated value of 11,000. So when we turn that into actual requests, I don't know if I can scroll with this.
Bless you.
So for technology item number 4, this was the uninterruptible power supplies. It's to Akers Technology in the value of $49,237.02. And this came in slightly over budget, but it fits within the overall picture. You see the item that's highlighted, the quantity 4 that's in yellow. That was originally budgeted to be 8 of those units. They determined only 4 were needed. And so this bid number is actually this award number is slightly below what was bid because we're buying fewer units. of
Who
that
decided we
particular
need
device.
fewer?
This was in the scope review with the district's technology folks.
Mhm. Okay, so we need to approve the 49,237.
Just real quick, the as required installation, assembly, etc. Weren't we paying for an additional service for installation of the technology package?
That's a coordination consultant that's working on that. This is the actual labor that goes
Okay.
from the vendor.
Okay, so it's not duplication of.
No, it's not.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll ask a motion to approve technology equipment 04 to Akers Technology for $49,237.02.
Is there a motion? Anyone second? Is there a second?
I'll second. I do have one question though.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean, kind of following up to Jessica's question about the installation, assembly, et cetera, what does it mean as required on that?
Where do you see as required?
So, like next to it's under the part
Oh,
number
oh,
column.
Yeah,
like,
there is no part number for labor.
So it's just like really NA. Like I was
But it's
curi-
maxed out. Like they wouldn't exceed that
like,
amount.
is it a not to exceed and that could potentially be less, or
I
should
think
we
that-
consider the whole 8,000?
That column on the table that you see there is the column for model numbers.
Yeah.
There is no model number for labor and installation.
Right.
I
but
know. So I'm
that-
saying, should
It's a
that
flat
really
fee.
be like not applicable, or is it really mean as required? Like this could not potentially be required.
You have to.
I think it's the vendor's description of saying that
I don't have a part number for labor.
we don't have a part number, but we're doing what you need us to do.
But the 8,000, it's like a flat fee that covers everything. We're not going to expect it to go up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
So again, this is based on their lump sum bidding. The only difference here is that we were able to avoid purchasing 4 of those line item number 5s, which saved you about $824 net from what the bid was.
Okay.
But otherwise, this breakdown reflects the lump sum bid.
All right. So the motion was made by Ken, seconded by Shannon. Are we ready for a vote? Any other questions? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries. I
Okay.
know that one. Is that the only technology bid? That was-
We have two
No, the
two
big
other
one.
items.
oh.
So we have our
I tried.
our middle school items on the left. Total value $477,374.67, and our central admin items, which have a total value of $7,935.06. Again, we came in much more than $100,000 under budget on the middle school side. We're about $5,000 over our original budget, but still under the estimated value. So we do need to dip into owner's contingency on the central admin side of the ledger, but less than we had originally presented to you.
The auditorium is separate technology for their AV system?
I believe that's all part of the base bid electronics
Okay.
within the GMP.
What's the digital signage?
Yeah, there's some signage within the building. I don't know specifically what.
Digital signage usually refers to like TVs that are up in the hallway with like mini computers hooked up to them.
Oh, okay.
Slideshow will play on like volleyball game this Friday.
Okay. So it's monitors.
So
Okay.
Yeah, like when you like go in the middle school
Gotcha.
today, it's right there on the left.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And we know that the auditorium maybe is part of the GMP, you're saying?
yes.
We're not going to be surprised. Okay.
So the motion we request is that the building committee approve the award for technology equipment 05 to Ockers for the middle school in the amount of $477,374.60, and for central admin in the amount of $7,935.06.
67 cents on the first one.
60 cents. What she said.
Is there a second?
76
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay.
at 9 cents.
Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
All right. Next, we have invoices for approval. We have 2 invoices from Meyer, one for the middle school, one for central admin. We have an architectural services invoice for Perkins, one invoice split with 2 amounts. We have technology equipment number 2 invoice to Atlantic Computing Technology. We have material testing lab progress billing, and we have the technology item 02 for central admin as a separate invoice from Atlantic. The total value of invoices to be approved tonight is $71,205.50.
Take a motion. Your second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Anyone abstaining? Motion carries.
Quick question on the tri-state, still have enough on that purchase order? We anticipate that the increase that you approved a few months back is going to take us to the finish line. That should cover. And that concludes our report.
Okay. everything that we just approved for changes, and the technology bid package in particular, all of those prices are locked in based on the bids?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good.
Just at the sense of there are price increases coming because of tariffs, and so that's why we were pushing to get these on tonight's agenda, so that we can get those purchase orders issued. You know, and-
How long will it
and
take to
lo-
issue them?
Emily she might be watching the live stream now.
She is very fast, that's for sure.
Send button.
She's like,
Already.
That's why
It's annoying her.
Our next
I would
request is for
not put it
rapid
past her.
approval of the minutes by the chair and co-chair, so that we can get them
Oh, so you need the minutes approved?
attached. We need the approved.
Okay.
or
Yeah.
We
we'll-
need the minutes
we'll
attached to the
review
PO package.
Okay.
Okay,
I will-
cool. Thank
I
you.
will
That's why I
sign them off
asked.
as soon as
I'll be
we get
ready.
them. Mhm.
Jack, on the now that are we completed all the technology bid items, or are there any
I
stragglers?
believe that completes the totality of technology purchase.
So is there anything left to, like, bid for, or
We
have
don't
we?
have prices on the hot tub for the superintendent's office.
It's okay. We'll run that off the solar.
No, but I mean, like, what's left? What's left? Is there anything left
Solar.
besides the PV?
It would be.
It would be the additional phase, which again, we would need to submit a new phasing letter to the state, go through a plan review
Oh,
for that
for-
phase of construction, and
yeah.
then move that forward.
This is for PV. You're talking
For
about.
PV.
Yeah. So besides PV, though, I think everything else is
We should be at the
encumbered.
end of the trail.
So
for
my
encumbrances.
my question for that is like the master budgets that we got last update on 4.1. Those still had plugs in there for what was budgeted for the FF&E and for technology. Does this mean we've formally kind of recast our GMP, or is that separate? That's construction.
Well, that's the construction line.
Okay.
If you're saying, can we zero out those line items and throw it all back in contingency?
We'll replace them with, hey, this was what was budgeted, but this is what we the bids came in at, and then move the rest to the
Like
bid
we
savings.
put it back to our bid savings.
Bid
now.
savings, yeah. Or-
At this stage of the game, there are usually some, I'll call them day two items that occur both in technology and in FF&E. So I think we would probably not want to zero out those line items.
Okay.
Sure.
But when you do zero out, or you could reduce them to a smaller number, especially with the measurable savings we had on technology on the middle school side. And the question is, do you want to put them into a bid savings line item or back into owner's contingency? But right now, the trajectory is that those are unspent dollars, whichever line item they sit in.
Okay. Maybe just knowing back pocket, like what we budgeted, 2.5-ish million budgeted for the FF&E and technology, and then just what do we think we approved the bids at?
Yeah, the next update will show, encumbrances for all of those items, and you'll see what the delta is, what the savings are.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, sorry. Can I go?
Go ahead. I was just going to ask for an update on the moving process and if things are moving along with that.
They are moving, Ron? you wanna give-
Moving along.
Yeah, we were there about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. We had met again with the specials. Myers was there, and they needed some extra moving supplies, different type of configurations, particularly like the robotics, and I believe it was the PE, because they have some real bulky stuff that they can fit in the big boxes, but there's some other stuff that they'll need a couple of other boxes. So that material was just dropped off the other day, but just talking with the facilities director over there, the maintenance, things are going well. Packing's going on, so.
Okay.
How are they moving the big items, like that don't fit in boxes?
We got moving tags that they'll be
Okay.
putting, say like a keyboard, pianos, stuff like that. They'll put moving tags on it, and then they'll physically move it out, like the piano. They'll be able to. We're not going to put a moving tag on the piano, but
Right.
we'll tell them where that piano has to go.
Got it.
And the same thing in the, I believe it's in the band room. They have a lot of kettle drums and a lot of big bulky stuff. So what we'll end up doing is put a the moving tags on the stand somewhere, and it'll say which rooms it's going to go. If they can't go into the big kettle bin, and then when they pack the trailers, that equipment will have to be packed according.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, go backs?
Just the other comment, because someone asked about the shed. So as far as I know, Claudio has brought the shed before Town Council and the Board of Finance to purchase the shed prefabbed, maybe either prefabbed or built on site on the slab directly out of their
Yeah.
budget for this fiscal year.
Yeah, it's approved. So it's not part of the building project.
Yeah.
It's now a town project.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they're going to manage it all on their own. Which makes sense because it's not reimbursable, and yeah. Any other go backs, questions, comments? If not,